(2018) Porsche 718 Boxster and Cayman GTS first drive review, improving the breed. Crimson with a band of orange, some yellow and a corona of unadulterated white, the cloudless skies over southern Spain start to gleam with the day's first light. Gibraltar, just toward the east, seems blue. What's more, the waters of the Alboran Sea are dark. Our 2018 Porsche 718 Boxster GTS, Miami blue over dark, is as yet clammy from resting outside. There's an issue, yet it isn't light. Or on the other hand sound. The Porsche's turbocharged on a level plane restricted 4-barrel wakes up with a fly through its two sizable focus-mounted fumes funnels and rapidly subsides into a musical drone as it shakes off the overnight frosty. Its tires pound over the cobblestones of the end's drive. It's glow we require. Furthermore, espresso. Summer pilots require warmth to work, and still on California time, we are urgent for a two-fold coffee. Until the point that they come, this 2018 Porsche Boxster GTS and Spain's cool, and now and again antiquated, blacktop are a sketchy mix. Only a couple of corners into the thin and bending two-path twisting through the seaside slopes, and it winds up plainly evident that hold-on is a genuine issue. By chance, it appears that the Spanish have an adoration for off-camber corners, since they all are. PSM formally remains for Porsche Stability Management, however the framework is winning its epithet, please save me. Without its intercession, our turquoise two-seater would have just kissed the slope no less than twice, or more awful, it would have crushed through the spindly-looking rail that lines this trail and crushed its mid-motor self to bits on the stones underneath. Fortunately our Caffeine Jones has been supplanted with a surge of endorphins activated by the instinctual want to live. With more daylight comes more grasp, and more speed. By 7:30 a.m., the street and the tires have picked up temperature and we're level out in one of the world's most prominent games autos on an epic, undulating motorway that ascensions toward the slope town of Algetosan, a pleasant desert garden of white stucco inside these dim green slopes. At the point when the 718 Boxster GTS and 718 Cayman GTS land at Merchants in March, they will be the most effective and the best performing machines in the organization's mid-motor lineup. Keep in mind, the Cayman GT4 is not any more accessible. Here are the numbers. The level 2.5 liter has been pumped up to 365 strength at 6,500 revolutions per minute. That is 15 horsepower more than you get in 718S models, in spite of the fact that it's 20 horsepower not exactly in the GT4, which was controlled by a normally suctioned 6 that crested up at 7,400 revolutions per minute. Torque is additionally progressed. The motor is appraised 309 pounds-foot at 1,900 revolutions per minute with a 6-speed manual transmission, and 317 pounds-foot with a PDK double grip programmed. That is 8 pounds-foot more than on the S models. The Cayman GT4, which was just accessible with a 6-speed manual, made 309 pounds-foot at a grandiose 4,750 revolutions per minute. Powertrain Venture Director Fabian Zink, a 7-year Porsche veteran who was likewise in charge of the motor in the GT4, reveals to us that the extra power comes partially from added confuses to the admission sprinters to enhance throb between the barrel banks and dispose of energy ransacking turbulence inside the sprinters. Presently the burning chambers are filled all the more productively and all the more totally. Whatever is left of the plastic emission complex is unaltered. Zink likewise worked with Porsche's turbo provider, BorgWarner, headquartered in Auburn Hills, Michigan, to build up a bigger compressor wheel to make more lift. The hot side of the turbo is the same, yet the compressor wheel has developed from 64 mm to 67 mm, and lift has expanded from 16.7 pounds per square inch to 18.1 pounds per square inch. The unit stays fundamentally the same as the turbo utilized on the S models, however it's sufficiently interesting to have its own part number. Anybody stressed over torque, turbo slack or having only 4 barrels shouldn't be. The level 4 pulls off sit out of gear and runs for its 7,500 revolutions per minute redline, and there isn't a falter or even a transient wavering en route. Throttle reaction is clairvoyant, and the transmissions are equipped short, which keeps the motor up more than 3,000 revolutions per minute, regardless of whether you enter a moment-adapt corner in third. Increasing speed wouldn't trip your go head-to-head, that is the thing that 911 turbos and Chevrolet Corvette ZR1s are for, yet the Boxster GTS and Cayman GTS are more than sufficiently brisk to keep you engaged and to inspire your companions. Porsche says manual models hit 60 miles per hour in 4.4 seconds and PDK autos, which have dispatch control, hit 60 miles per hour in only 3.9 seconds. That is speedier than the GT4. Porsche likewise cites a best speed of 180 miles per hour and says the autos have lapped the Nürburgring Nordschleife 2 seconds speedier than the 718S model and 13 seconds quicker than the 2014 Cayman GTS. Its 740 lap time additionally coordinates the execution of the GT4, and in addition that of the 2011 911 GT3. No doubt, it's quick. Furthermore, light. Manual models weigh only 3,032 pounds, with PDK autos weighing only 66 pounds more. That being stated, the featherweight carbon fiber seats, like the units utilized as a part of the 918 Spyder yet not quite the same as the seats in the new 911T, won't be accessible in the United States. 4-wheel plans are offered, yet the lightest is the standard Carrera S at only 21.8 pounds for the front, 20 by 9, and 23.8 pounds for the back, 20 by 10. The others are heavier, but at the same time they're a half-inch more extensive in the back. Each 718 GTS wears an arrangement of Pirelli Zeros with the N1 assignment, which implies it's a tire made to Porsche's correct particulars. The ultra-superior summer tires are measured 235/35 ZR20 front and 265/35 ZR20 back. Ride stature is 10 mm lower than S models, and a sport suspension choice can drop it another 10 mm. Costs begin at $81,300 for a manual Cayman GTS and $83,400 for a manual Boxster GTS. The PDK includes $3,730. Both are deals contrasted and stacking up a S-display with a great part of a similar gear. In the slopes and on Ascari, Spain's longest circuit, both the Boxster GTS and Cayman GTS advantage from standard execution equipment, for example, Porsche torque vectoring, PASM suspension with more forceful hostile-to-move bars, a selectable damping rate and the Sport Chrono package. The last piece incorporates the Porsche active drivetrain mount framework, which adds stiffer electromagnetic powertrain mounts to the transmission, basically making the motor and transmission focused on suspension individuals while expanding the general quality of the structure. Taking care of and solidness are likewise enhanced in light of the fact that the power range mass, a 412-pound motor with exhaust system, a 154-pound manual transmission or the 243-pound PDK, is better controlled. Game Chrono additionally adds a handle to the guiding wheel so the driver can rapidly browse normal, sport or sport plus driving modes, as in the 911 GTS. There's likewise an individual setting, which is an adjustable picking of your top choices to tune the reaction of the Porsche's powertrain and suspension. Indeed, even in normal, the ride is firm, however there is a great measure of refinement. It douses up bigger effects without smashing or feeling unrefined. It's sufficiently agreeable to be driven each day. Joachim Meyer, the body venture director for the 718 line, is pleased with the 718's informative, snappy controlling rack. Also, as it should be, its 15:1 controlling proportion is impeccable on the circuit, particularly through Ascari's Pif-Paf chicane, and in the more tightly bounds of people in general street it converts into a marvelous physicality couple of autos can coordinate. You feel as though the Porsche 718 will never come up short on grasp. It will, obviously, however the speed in which this little game's auto alters course and the exactness with which it can be set by a talented driver is surprising. It influences you to wish Meyer and his group would share their insider facts, their virtuoso, with whatever is left of the business. On quicker segments of track, for example, Ascari's managed an account left-hander called Daytona, and Brundle, which we were told must be taken level at once, the GTS is very much adjusted, and it's effortlessly set into a four-wheel float. What's more, through the kink, a level and quick right-hander at the highest point of third apparatus, it demonstrated great soundness halfway because of its 55% raise weight predisposition. The game fumes with dark tailpipes is additionally standard, and hearing the Boxster 4 is never an issue, particularly in the delicate-topped Boxster. It truly begins to cry once again 4,000 revolutions per minute. However, Porsche demands there's no fooling around going on, no manufactured improvement through the speakers of the sound framework. In the wake of a prolonged day of driving, and seat time in three 718s, we at long last understand that espresso, kick back and watch the sun sink behind the ocean. With the day's last light, it's unmistakable Porsche's new Boxster GTS and Cayman GTS are precisely what this German automaker has dependably been about, the non-stop refinement and perpetual change of the machine. Tragically, America's Games Auto advertises decelerating as though it's fitted with carbon Brembos, and few will encounter the delight of owning and driving these phenomenal machines. Be that as it may, the 718 GTS twins are designing as workmanship. Without a doubt, the Cayman and Macan pay the greater part of the bills, however it's autos, for example, these that will everlastingly characterize the brand.